Sunday evening, and pick, and still orders to pick. Actually, they've just kept coming. It has been a outstanding week so far. Anyway, so this is what we've got. This is kiwi fills, a whole lot of tan, a little bit of white, a little bit of black, dark blue grey, light blue grey, and an assortment of other things. There's his GST receipt. Luggage and some, I don't even know where this thing came from and what it is. It's stuck behind a suitcase, some little blue creature. Anyway, some very simple black parts going off to Nick, who's a regular buyer. This is the one that's off to the States. It's a lot of light blue grey, a whole lot of white, dark blue grey, a lot of dark red, a little bit of dark blue, a little bit of a mixture of stuff, and a lot of trans as well. All good. Just two types in here, clearing me out of those slopes and a handful of those. And this one is like a little Technic to light and almost clearing me out of those blue pins. I've just ordered another 1,000 from somewhere else. I've just done a couple of orders for parts. Obviously it's been a good week, so that means it's good to be able to catch up on parts that you can't get elsewhere. But with the Jane Austen gift for purchase coming on the 19th, I'm just mindful of keeping some powder dry to be able to pick up a couple of those so I can get one in the store at least. So yeah, Technic all the way with that one. I think you've seen those three, and this one is for Belinda, another regular buyer. Very Star Warsy, including a battle droid head, which is all pretty good, isn't it? What else has been going on? I've caught up on all of that. The drink of choice has moved on, which if you watched last week's vlog and you've entered the competition, you know what I'm talking about. I'm just facing you this way while I get Brick Freedom open. Still got 4 orders to pick for 144 lots and 1,300 parts, but I was going to go into week 24 and we're looking at 34 sales, 37 last week, but the value of it is almost half as much again as it was last week, which is outstanding. But what I have been doing is I've been doing lots of this kind of stuff over here. I've been sorting out this spreadsheet, something proper, getting all the graphics looking really good. So that is parts and lots added. That is parts sold and added. I'm looking at that 2 ways because sometimes it's easier to look at it another way. Green is added, blue is sold. That is weekly sales, so you can kind of see after week 15 it was kind of gently up. Then there was a bit of an anomaly. We were up to 37 last week and we're floating around that again, so fingers crossed we could pick up another 2 and keep it in there. But definitely the telemetry is in the right direction. Monthly is a little bit of an erratic thing. Weekly is this is actually where I do a lot of my actual workings out. So that is weekly sales versus average sales. That is weekly net revenue, which you can see last week was a bit of a stinker in terms of net revenue. This week will be good. And that is weekly total sales and other graphs that I will have in there. And then we've got weekly average, which is a bit of a massive one. But the problem is when you actually close up the graphic, it gets very difficult to read it. Anyway, is that the same thing but the other way around? I think it is, which is probably easier to read anyway. And then we've got inventory growth, which is that is parts, and then that is lots. As you can see, lots have kind of tapered out recently, but parts have been on the increase for the last 3 months, which is great, isn't it? Platform sales, that's that one. The all-time is sitting at 77.23 for Bricklink and Brick Owl, which goes back to a conversation we were having about how much does Brick Owl make up of your sales. If I changed that year by year, which is what I'm going to do, I'm going to do another graph of this which will show it year by year. I'm sure we would see a different thing, and that's pretty easy to do because you just go chart, you add it in, and then you add the data references, which is Bricklink, Brick Owl, some other way around. I can't remember how you do it, but I'll figure that out. But yeah, that's where we're up to for the week. So Monday tomorrow, and we'll get back into it. Okay, Monday evening. What time is it? Let me have a look. 7:15. Been picking. There's a few things being added to the gone but not forgotten list, and as you can see, there are 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 orders. So that is decent. Some of those came in overnight, obviously, and some of them came in through the day. So bit of a mixed bag. But we've got a whole load of kind of those things that, you know, fire hoses and things like that go on. We've got a singular stormtrooper in that one. We've got a whole load of pirates in that, and some spears and some other elements there. This one is for Adam. We had a bit of an exchange about, he was asking about dark red parts being brittle, so I kind of updated him on that kind of 2018-2019 materials change that Lego made for the parts that were brittle. He's building the 8089 Venator that I've got somewhere down in that box in the cupboard, which I remember taking one apart when I sold one way back before I even did Bricklink, which is why I was using Bricklink to replace parts that I dismantled and they had shattered. This one's a nice little one. Let me zoom out a little bit because we're getting a bit closer here, aren't we? I was just trying to avoid the shadow. Hundreds and 50s and 20s of everything. So 200 of the bright light orange 1x1s, a whole lot of tan parts, quarter tiles, quarter curved things and normal tiles, and a whole bunch of black tiles in various sizes. Colourful as it gets here, with red, green, blue, yeah, real colourful. Some wheel parts and a whole 100 of the dark trans blue tiles. This one is actually off to a jewellery shop, which is fascinating, isn't it? Because they're kind of scooping up quite a lot of the parts from that classic transparent imagination box, which is cool. Especially those white things. I suppose you could display rings and stuff on them, couldn't you? Lovely. Real mixed little bag of small parts in this one, including some kind of flame energy effects and things like that. And then this one is continuing the popularity of that kind of dark red curved element, and some other elements in there as well. So lovely little spread of orders, which is all nice. Also had a parts order arrive from which store's this one from? Scissors Paper Block. And man alive, look at the beautiful heat sealing that's going on in there. So I bought a whole bunch of stuff from them, which I'm not going to put in the store tonight, but generally parts that I needed to replenish. All good stuff though. Very good stuff. Very happy with this little haul. Not everything's in great quantities or anything like that, but definitely a beautiful little collection of stuff, and so nicely packaged. Oh, it's kind of pleasing. It's like getting an actual order from Lego. Whole load of walkie-talkies in there, and good stuff all the way in that one. So that's a really good order. But that one is a tomorrow job now, because I've got to put everything away. I've got a little bit of other stuff to do. I did promise you this chart earlier on, and I screwed it up when I was trying to do it live. I had to go back and rework the formula to make this work. So this is the changing face of Brick Owl over the period of time. So 2023 obviously is not a full year, but was heavily in favour of Bricklink, which is the blue here, obviously 81 to 19%. Last year it kind of shifted a little bit, moving from 81 to 77, and so far year to date we are sitting at 26.74. Obviously the all-time is still sitting at that mid 2024 point, which is an interesting statistic for those of you that are as nerdy as me. That was that one. What is the other one? Parts sold, and yeah, we managed to put more in than we sold this week as well, so that's good. So we're continuing that trend of staying above the sold line, which means inventory is growing, and we stayed above last year's line, although it was 3 sales short of last week, but the average value was $30 odd higher, so definitely a bit of a winner. This one's kind of starting to follow the same track as last year, although at a lower volume of sales, so that's interesting how we're tracking along on that one. That's my weekly stats, which you don't really want to get into, net revenue kind of stuff. There's a lot of postage. Interesting. Is that one? Oh, maybe this one's not actually captured the data yet. No, it hasn't. Hang on. Edit my data references. Oh, it hasn't got those 2 weeks in. There we go. That's what it looks like now. So yeah, the net revenue has been on the increase for the last few weeks, which is a good statistic to have. And is that one capturing all of the net revenue, the total sales weeks? No, need to catch that one up as well. There we go. Weekly sales, yeah, it's been pretty solid, which is good. Obviously not what we're looking at the beginning of the month, but anyway, there you are. Where are we at on that one? Yeah, big spike up there, which is nice. Anyway, that's where we're at. Yeah, just rambling again, aren't I? Put all that stuff away, get it all tidied away, and then I might try and get up on, what are we at, the 16th today. I believe that Jane Austen gift with purchase is released on the 19th, so that's what I'm kind of tracking towards. I need to have a quick check whether or not Plo Koon or the Night Troopers have been added into the Bricklink inventory yet, because I want to get those in as soon as I can rather than having them sitting around. But generally that is a nice little haul, happy with that. But as I say, that is a job for tomorrow. Welcome to Wednesday afternoon. What happened to Tuesday? Well, I didn't do any picking. There were orders, so what's here is kind of Monday night, kind of through the night, Monday night, Tuesday night, and so Tuesday's usually quiet, right? But it was kind of okay. It was maybe 3, all small, and then there was a few others kind of through kind of Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, and that's what I've picked this morning. And I think I'm going to make that kind of my new routine. I'm going to kind of have quieter days during the week. I did put in those parts yesterday and some other ones that arrived yesterday, so 4,000 parts or so went in yesterday. So I'm going to try and focus on maybe Tuesdays and Thursdays and one of the weekend days parts going into the store, and then the other days being picking days, to try and get a little bit more regularity into what I'm trying to do. So in terms of orders, pretty straightforward to be fair, like little smart parts there, real easy Aussie ones there. They're kind of very similar, aren't they? A little bit of sand green and bits in that one. This one is for Thomas, regular buyer. Always goes colourful, often building castle or pirate stuff, but that does not feel that. But I could be completely wrong. This one is off to, no, this one's not the one that's off to the States. We'll get to that one. It's just that those dark red corner bricky things continue to be super popular. Trying to replenish where I can with those, but they are getting pretty hard to find. I'll need to go back and have a look what set they are from. I bought a whole load from Jackson ages ago, and there were quite a lot that I bought from him, and they've all nearly gone. I think I've got about 5 left, so I'm hunting around to try and get some more, because they have proved to be a good seller. Clearly something on the Republic kind of fighter tank, or kind of maybe a Jedi starfighter or something, because they're usually sold with an awful lot of white parts, and usually with the same kind of circular discs and things. So that's that one. This one is, can I refresh my memory who this one is? Dave, who's bought similar kind of bikes. He bought a bike the other day, and he's bought a red bike and a black bike. And as we all know, red bikes go faster than black bikes. A whole lot of planty things, again, clearing me out of the dark brown ones, and a whole lot of brackets, all in 20s and things like that. Another one with a whole bunch of those dark red curved bricks, the similar kind of parts, very similar kind of parts, including that bit which I think might be the steering part of the Republic fighter tank, I think, from memory. That one is off to the States, and then the whacking great big one is a whole wodge of dark blue bricks, including some Technic bricks and 4 of those 16 by 16s, whether somebody is building some kind of Mills plate, along with a whole bunch of other bits and pieces, and Aston Martin James Bond instructions and the Museum Hotel instructions. So maybe some kind of Mills plate kind of thing going on there, which is all good and well, isn't it? And in terms of orders, we're kind of tracking a little bit higher than we have been recently, which is really good. And in terms of parts going in, we've got plenty coming down the pipeline, which is good for the month. Will we hit the 50,000 parts going in this month? We are probably going to get closer than we have done previously. Maybe, I don't know. Let me have a look. Hang on. You have a look over there for a minute. You can have a look at me. I almost said it. You can have a look at me nuts for a minute. It's probably not the thing you need to say. It's probably more like the kind of thing Noah would say, isn't it? Have a look at me nuts. Horny Brooks content, where are we? As you can see, kind of actual parts sold has been below forecast. April was disastrous, and then we were like 5,000 back there, 2,000 back there. Uploads needed, we have been behind the ball generally every month. Estimated revenue, we have been down behind that as well, although actual profit has been up in the last month, which is good. And in terms of target inventory, we started slightly down, like 3,000 parts down. The target inventory for the start of July is 613,889. We are sitting at 602, so we've got to get in about 9,000 and not sell too much, which sounds ironic, doesn't it? You know what I mean. We're in with a chance this month for getting on track for that, I would say, but we'll see how we go. Depends what parts come in and how quickly they come. I have ordered a little bit more from other Bricklink stores this month and last month, which is helping with that throughput and being a little bit more targeted in stuff that's coming in, as you probably saw from the last order. There's meant to be an Aramax delivery today, which probably means I'll have to go to the weirdest pharmacy in the world, and if I do, I'll show you it, because it is just bizarre. It's just bizarre. It's kind of pharmacy that's got security screens, which tells you everything you need to know about that pharmacy. And if you live in the kind of place in the world where you need security screens on pharmacies, then you probably come as no shock to you. But most of the pharmacies where I am don't have that, but there are obviously other pharmacies are available. Other than that, I'm going to stay clear of political rants today, because we all could be dead by breakfast, couldn't we? The way things are escalating around the world, and we probably don't need to think about that. So it's Wednesday. I need to go and put up the what's the part out value video, because I didn't schedule it, and I need to get these all packaged up so they can go to the post office, and then hopefully Aramax will deliver. That is about as much chance as a rocking horse going for a crap, but we'll see what happens. Okay, here we are then. Aramax strikes again. You get an email that says your parcel is en route, and then 2 seconds later you get an email that says your parcel is ready for collection, 20 minutes drive away. Yeah, of course it is. So here we are at I'm not sure how you could really describe this place, but it is this is where people come to die, I think, in this pharmacy. For those that you don't know, compounding chemist here in Australia is essentially a pharmacist that can mix up drugs for you. it's just a term to make them sound fancy, I think. The place inside is like a rammy. Literally, like as you walk in, they've got piles of toilet paper and all sorts of other shit. No pun intended. Anyway, we're going to go in and get the parcels. They're going to scan them. I'll have to give them a PIN number. It's going to take about 45 minutes. What time is it now? Don't know what time it is. Let's have a look. Let's see how long it takes to get 4 parcels. 4:51. Let's go. All right, so not too bad. Not too bad. In all fairness, not too bad. 5 minutes in and out. She knows the drill now. Nothing scans, the numbers don't come up. Aramax, absolute. It's the world over, isn't it? Anyway, I had a word with the actual owner, because apparently not the only one, frustrated, you know. So what can you do, really? You can only, you know, if you're struggling with Aramax as well, yes, you know, someone like Lego Group are using them. They're probably getting a great deal, but they were using Australia Post, and I had no complaints. I know some people do have complaints about it, but, you know, and I have had complaints about Australia Post in the past, but they are certainly way better than Aramax's service. And whilst these parts seem to be coming from the Netherlands, so maybe it's to do with international shipments that is giving them a better price on shipment, and I don't, you know, and that could well be the case. Yeah, it's an absolute dog's breakfast, isn't it, when you're having to scoot around and chase things, and you know, you're getting that, you know, it's an absolute mick take, isn't it, when you're getting a message saying, oh, it's en route, you know, it's about to be delivered, and then you get a message that, you know, oh, it's ready for collection 15 minutes away, and it was a couple of minutes ago that it was en route. So you just know, you know, and that used to happen with Australia Post as well, and that used to drive me nuts at that point as well, and I was on the phone complaining to them plenty. So I think I'm going to take this one up with Aramax, because it's just, you know, if nobody says anything, nothing happens. You know, the behavior that you turn a blind eye to is the behavior you accept. And whilst it is a bit ranty, I know some people love my rants, some people find them very tiresome, and if you're one of those people, just get on with it. As you can see, it is Friday morning, and where have I been? A couple of days, been off the grid. Well, I've not really been not doing anything. I have been kind of busy uploading and stuff like that. So that big kind of order of parts I put into the store, which has taken us up to, it was a little bit higher than that, but there was a couple of orders this morning. So we're up to 607.99, which is obviously a new high, which is fantastic. Lot count a little bit down where we started the week, which was 14,012, but that's decent, happy with that. And I've got more parts winging their way towards me. Not least of all this little box there, which is about another 8,000 parts. So that is on today's mission. So I put parts in on, no, what did I do? Did I pick on Wednesday? I can't remember now. Maybe I put parts in on Wednesday. And then Thursday night, I continued putting parts in and just actually spent a bit of time relaxing a bit more this week. Knowing that I had today to do picking and posting, so that's kind of the mission today. I need to finish off this putting away, which pretty much is kind of what's happening, and as usual it's a bit of a case of, as things are getting added to the store or getting replenished or increased in terms of their lot count, their volume count, they're getting broken out. So all of these tiles were all in BD 123 previously, and now they're split out across drawers, and similarly with these little binoculars, they were all in a wanna, and now we've got dark blue grey ones there, we've got black ones in there, we've got pearl gold in there, and we've got light blue grey remaining in BD 123. New parts coming in, we've got some medium nugget there, we've got some bright green tiles coming in there, and we've got a whole heap of dark tan amongst a whole shed load of other stuff that came in with those orders, which I won't bore you senseless with. I can't remember who it was off the top of my head, wanted me to kind of film a bit of me putting parts away, which I'm not sure whether that'll be a particularly interesting video compared to picking, but it might be. So I'm going to try and, because I haven't really filmed an awful lot this week, I'm going to do some picking this morning once I get myself sorted and all the computer and everything turned on and these stuff put away. And then we're just going to crack through the day really and get to this. So it might be a bit of both really. I'll kind of walk you through what's in here as well once I crack that open. But first of all I need to do some order picking. So I'll get that set up and we'll see how many we've got to pick. So there's only 6 orders, which has dropped the average down to 4.7 a day, which it's kind of ebbed and flowed a little bit. 5 of those orders are under 50 lots, so they're all going to be picked as a oneer. So we've got the 5 tubs out. So I'll probably do a little video of me picking that lot, and then there's one order that's a bit bigger than that. So my first job is really just put this lot away, tidy up, get things ship shape, as they say, for the day, and then we'll crack on into picking. And then I do have to do a little bit of work in between everything else, but as you can see we've kind of got some nice stuff happening on this side for the first time, which is cool. We've got a whole lot of those in there. We've got this kind of stuff happening. Those have kind of got broken out. There's a little bit of space in there. I do need to instigate this kind of system. What's that? That's quarter tiles. We've got some tiles and those in there. So yeah, things are starting to fill up on this side as well, which is pretty cool. And over on the far side, excuse the rubbish bag, trying to keep a bit tidier. What's happened over here? I believe these are on the pab wall in carrying up. Sod's law, isn't it? That after months and months of absolute nothing on there, they finally put something decent. Got some masonry bricks. We've got green tiles. We've got some more masonry bricks. That's about it, isn't it? Yeah, so we're in good shape. So stop saying so would be a good start, wouldn't it? So I'll get. Oh, jeez. I'm going to get this stuff put away and then crack on with picking those orders, and I'll film a little bit of that, and then we'll come back and have a look what's in this box. Back again with another kind of talking over the picking video kind of thing. Obviously I talk really slowly whilst picking so that it's in the real speed when sped up 300%, and that's how I do this feat of magic. So yeah, let's catch up on things that kind of happened in the comments of the last vlog. Any questions, of which there weren't very many to be fair, but if you do want me to fill this section with chatting rather than terrible music, do leave questions down below. I didn't really mention it last week because I guess I didn't really kind of notice it until I was doing the thumbnail, but last week was the 100th vlog, which seems like quite a significant landmark. Not sure how that crept up and is now behind us, but definitely significant. 100 vlogs in the not even 2 years since the store opened, so that's pretty decent. I'm happy with that. But thank you everybody that has been watching and commenting and liking and all of that along the way. It's definitely been great fun so far, and hopefully continue to be. People definitely seem to be preferring me talking over the picking, so as I've said already, questions, anything you want, topics, subjects around Lego, anything, I'm up for it. I can whiffle on about it forever. Probably just want to clarify, obviously the competition is still open and you can still enter. If you go back and watch episode 100, vlog 100, you can do that, or if you're smart enough, you can just write, can I enter the competition, in the comments down below of this one, and that'll be fair enough. We'll go with that. But I don't actually drink Foster's. It was a joke, really. My dad was on about it. He drinks it over in the UK. We were commenting how you can never get it in Australia and how I had never seen it in Australia. And then after he left, it popped up in the bottle shop. So I grabbed some and sent him a picture of it as a bit of a wind up. And then, having spent whatever much it was on it, I wasn't going to let it go to waste. It's a distinctly average beer, and Australians do not drink it, so I don't believe the hype. Although Forex also seems to have made a bit of a resurgence in the shops recently, so I'm not sure what's going on. But there was a suggestion, and apologies I didn't write down who made the suggestion about tasting some beer from Canada. It may have been Molson that was mentioned, but it did make me think of Gavin and Smithy on Gavin and Stacey, where they've got kind of their tasting notes and they're going to go around Europe tasting all the beers. That should be a new segment of this, where I just drink different alcohol whilst kind of picking and chatting. I don't have any in front of me at the moment, but I might change that in a little bit. Alison Bailey-C8U, C8U? Almost looks like a rude word. Anyway, made a very welcome comment that the Bricklink designer program sets that I mentioned I put me off buying them because you kind of had your cash tied up. You don't actually pay for them until they're shipped. And I did notice that whilst whatever series is out on sale at the moment and still is available to buy, not this kind of gone in a day stuff this time around, scalpers will be miffed. I did notice on one of the websites that the series 4 ones are shipping, so that's pretty cool. The Toka Man, I didn't get his set right. He was actually building a classic space and completing the Dagobah X-Wing, so nice sets those. Seems there's a few kind of vintage sets getting put together with parts that have been going out recently. Russell, always ready for a cheeky beer and a catch up, just drop me a message. Not a problem, always ready for jumping in on that one. Make sure that Ricky's available as well and we can get together. And anyone else in Perth, if you want to join the little go to the pub and talk about Lego Society, feel free to drop me a message. There was a bit of debate around my kind of political comments, of which I've not made any this week, you'll be glad to know. There was my message around kind of, as much as people do hate what might be happening in different countries, my rants are getting a bit tiresome, especially as I don't even live in the countries that I'm talking about, and it is distasteful for a worldwide platform. And I kind of get I get the viewpoint. I'm not kind of tone deaf to it, but I do think there seems, especially around kind of the alienation of minority groups, DE&I rollback, that kind of thing, the removal of support for the vulnerable, things like that. They're things that I'm fairly firm on, being part of a socialist agenda, of which I guess I strongly support. On the other hand, Bed Mackable says that he's only actually here for the rants and the Lego's just an extra, so don't worry about offending us Americans. Most of us can take a joke. Heck, look what, or look who we voted for. So, I'll try and temper my my commentary around countries claiming acts of war and war crimes on hospitals getting bombed when they've done it to other people in recent times, but suddenly it's a war crime, and demanding nuclear oversight of countries even though they don't supply any nuclear evidence themselves, having had warheads for a while. But hey, double standards have always been a thing, haven't they? Oh, did it again. What other things? There was a comment about kind of reallocation, which is bloody complicated, and it came from Mac Grubber, who I'll just read it. He uses a rollback method where he keeps the empties out when he's picking an order, and once he's done, he condenses drawers and rehoming them, backing them up essentially, I think, so that he always ends up with the empty drawers at the end. So if he kind of fills up from number 1 to number 3 and he moves back so everything's full, which sounds like a lot of work to me, but he says it works well for his OCD, so good on you. That does sound complicated. Any other tips on that? I'm still thinking the little bit of blue tack on the end is probably my favourite, because it's the least evidence of something being different and the easiest one to kind of put on and take down and move and stuff like that. I haven't done it yet, but I probably will. What else have I noticed this week? Brick Seller Hub. Here's a one for you. So those of you that kind of followed Brick Arena and Keith's departure from Brick Arena, but he's kind of establishing Brick Seller Hub, which was essentially set up to sell and buy stores. Interestingly, this week somebody listed a minifigure, a snow speeder gunner parts it's listed as, but it's one snow speeder gunner from the UCS snow speeder, one part listed, which throws up the whole question about where that platform could, might and should go. Having established a network where you can buy and sell from each other, is it materially different if you're buying and selling a store or a Lego set or a Lego minifigure or Lego parts? Could Keith be on the verge of rivaling Brick Owl or Bricklink one day with what he's begun there? Head over, have a look. It's just one listing. It hasn't been removed. It's still there because I checked before I started waffling on. But yeah, an interesting move that could well see that Brick Seller Hub really change its direction, and with that platform allowing you to kind of hone in on buyers in your area, it does enable a bit more of a network thing as well. So that could be a very interesting move in the future. And the only other thing that I've really got to mention is the new Brick by Brick podcast is out. So that's myself, Noah from the Brick Shed, and Jason from Kiwi Brick Exchange. This podcast, we actually had Kiwi Modulars join us. If you don't know, he is a Lego ambassador from New Zealand, does a lot of kind of content around modulars and other sets that he really likes. It was a good chance for the three of us to really chat about coming from a seller's perspective, ask some questions about the Lego network and the kind of the rules and things like that. But top fella, we had a good chat. If you head over to Brick by Brick and you look for episode 3 that came out this morning, Saturday morning, the 21st of July, you can head over there and check out that latest podcast. It's a good little series. We have a great time doing it, but it's well worth checking out. And that's about it for me rambling on this week. Obviously, it's been a big week in the store, as you'll see as we go on. And the more questions I get for this segment, the easier it'll be, and I won't have to talk so much rubbish. So, questions, topics, things that you want to know about running a store, things that you want to know about whatever, me, or even Noah's antics, what he gets up to. You just fire me a message and I'll do my best to answer them in this segment. Right, let's get back to the normal stuff. Well, Friday evening, kind of a frustrating day. Didn't get anywhere near as much as I wanted to get done today. Just things got in the way. I spent 40 minutes trying to figure out why the Dymo printer wasn't working, only to find a cable had fallen out. Things like that sometimes happen, and you just kind of your day slips away. So I did get some picking done in the midst of everything else. Didn't get the parts put away, which is a bit of a one of them. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 orders picked, ready to go to the post office. It was too late to go to the post office by the time I picked them, but I'll show you them in a second. Tomorrow is Saturday. Hoping to go to IKEA and get the final pots and things like that to put in the store, and obviously get these parts into the store. We're sitting at 607,000. So add that 8,000 in, that'll take us to about the 613,000, which is obviously the target for where are we at, June. So we'll just see if we can hang on for the rest of the month. Could be a bit of a challenge, but it's the first month that we're going to come close to being on target as we approach halfway through the year, which will be a good little landmark to achieve. I know there hasn't been an awful lot of content this week, so I'm padding a little bit, but Obviously did the picking video, and I will try and answer some questions and things like that as I did previously over the top of that, but if you've got to this point you've already seen that anyway, so that's kind of irrelevant. Anyway, I'll show you the orders. Okay, this was the biggest one, I think. Pretty much black and dark blue grey all the way, and then a little smattering of other things thrown in. This is Noah's order. As you can see, it's an extensive order. He's completing some set. He sent me a picture of a sticker sheet, and he's actually going to collect this. It's a pickup. It's a bit of a trek from Victoria to WA, but as he's coming, is it the weekend after next? He and Harrison, at this point anyway, the pair of them, popping over to collect 5 bits of Lego. Weird and wonderful little arrangement in here. We've got some projectiles, some projectile launchers. Yeah, it's all going on in that one. And if you're wondering kind of my theory around how I decide how to bag things up, smaller orders, kind of under 50 lots, under 150 items, tend to all go in one bag rather than like bagging them this, that, and the other way. When you get to larger orders like this and you've got colour specific things, they tend to end up in their own bag. Or I'll show you as we go through. Sometimes I kind of split things up differently, but smaller orders have tended to go into one bag in recent times when I've been picking multiple orders all at once. And I don't think it's a big deal. No one's complained yet. I say that, someone will now. And I think it's not massive quantities of each thing, so kind of bagging up separately by type or colour just kind of creates an awful lot of plastic and probably isn't great. 20 of the panels were sent a divide there. Noah's awesome order. Some leg assemblies and a headpiece. This one off to Jayville down in Wellington. Millennium Falcon poly bag stroke paper bag, and that sticker sheet, which is from 4.3 something or other. I can't actually remember what set that's from. I'm going to say Moana or something like that because of the kind of the Polynesian type pattern on it, but I could be wrong. Regular buy here, a lot of Technic parts in white and some interesting bits in there, clearing me out of those trans light blue slopes. Nice. Whole bunch of those weird and wonderful little wedge plates in that one. Someone obviously rebuilding the Lone Ranger mine set. A whole lot of dark tan stuff. You may have seen that one in the picking slow-mo, and a load of reddish brown. And the other one that was kind of getting picked along there is 354, I think it was, or 58, can't remember now. Green leaves and a whole load of bright green, and there is a green one on the loose in there. The green ones aren't meant to be in the same thing, but there's a green one, so I need to switch that out, and a little bit of reddish brown in there, which is cool. So I need to switch that one out whilst I remember. I haven't done anything with these parts, but I am going to crack that open in a second, and I'll give you a sneak peek before we head into the weekend. Okay, so you probably remember I ordered from the same store a while ago with this fancy down kind of lilo in there, a little bit of bubble wrap, and then we're into the bits and pieces. So you name it, it's probably in here. There'll be a lot of stuff which is just replenishing, and there'll be a lot of stuff which is kind of just coming at a massive saving on what you would get from an Australian seller. So I think for all of this, which is like 9,000 parts or so, including shipping, I think I paid under $500. So, you know, it's an absolute mountain of parts and plates and things like that all need to get sorted over the next few days, and they pack them fantastically. Whole load of tan plates, whole load of reddish brown 1x bricks, some wedge plates in tan. They are expensive if you buy them in most places. 2x10s, dark blue grey. What else have we got in here? Just some bog standard bricks, just stuff that's difficult to lay your hands on in volume at times. So 2x4s, corner bricks, wedges, you name it. There's all sorts of good stuff in here that will just kind of bolster the store really and bring a whole load of added value. Plates, as you can see, there's plenty in there, so that's a job for tomorrow. Get that sorted out. Next job is to get all that ready to drop off at the post office first thing in the morning, and then we'll be into Saturday, and another week we'll be done and dusted. Wow, they're just kind of flying by at the moment, aren't they? But I may even try and part out the Plo Koon's Staff Microfighter, because that one is now inventoried on Bricklink as well, so that could be a little job to try and tick off at the weekend as well, because it's not too big a job, but it will add a nice few minifigures to the store. Okay, Saturday afternoon, just uploaded at last all of those parts, which takes us to 614,645, which is, as you will know, a way out kind of new total. And what's even more delightful is Ali's Bricks and Bits, who are actually closing down. I bought a ton of stuff from them. This is probably another 5,000 and something parts, which I also need to get into the store. So there's a bit of reallocation been going on as we've been going along. I don't actually have the lights on in here, so if this is a bit dingy and dark, I do apologise. But yeah, so we've another kind of 5,000 or 6,000 to go in there, which so could take us close to the 620,000. Now, Goldie bricks are sitting at I think it's 622. So that will be a bit of an interesting shake-up. In terms of orders, there are 6 orders sitting here waiting to go. 18 lots, 163 lots, 1 lot, 41 lots, 12 lots, 10 lots. The two largest of those is 670 items and 540 items. So there's a bit of picking to do as well, which I am aiming to get done today as well. And then I'm going to get the vlog uploaded as well. So yeah, trying to get through an awful lot today. But as you can see, there's been kind of additions and reallocations and things like that been going on all through the course of today. Bit at IKEA as well. Got some new tubs, so 4 of the 2 litres and 2 of the 5 litres, which will slot into the spaces that we have. So I'm just going to start working through the next little bunch of parts, which were all bought on sale. They were all on 50% sale, which is what Ali's Bricks and Pieces were doing. Some of them are kind of duplicates of things that are probably coming from other places. But yeah, there's a fair few things going on here that will add good quantity to the store, and it is 5,088 parts actually, so that will take us to 5,088, so it'll take us short of 620, but pretty damn close, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to get started on that. The incoming price is $264.03 on all of that. We'll see what it is when we're finished. Now, everyone knows how much I love to moan about stuff, so I'm going with it, right? So heat sealing bags. Everyone knows I love to moan about stuff, and generally this is like the bane of my life, this kind of multiple kind of string of picking and packing kind of stuff. Now, I'll give full credit where credit's due. I've never seen this before. These are perfed down one edge. I've no idea how they do that, but these are perfed, which saves me having to cut them with scissors. But it throws my mind back to that other order I had the other day that I said was beautifully packed and stuff like that, and it was absolutely a pain in the arse to unpack it, because you were trying to get things out of the middle of a run like that and you couldn't get into them. These ones, they're actually pretty decent because they are perfed along one edge, which is a bit of a game changer. But generally, this kind of heat sealing kind of things in strings of stuff, absolutely not for me. But each to their own, obviously. But this is pretty decent. You come along. Only problem is you're forced with this kind of like midpoint tearing, which oh yeah, there you go, you can do. So there we have it, nicely done. I have to say, a little perf along the edge of those, way better than the last one, but it's still it took me a little while to figure out that was there, and I was starting to cut them and I was starting to get myself in a little bad temper, as you do, and I thought, oh, I'm coming on, I'm having a moan, and now I've talked myself out of it, so I'll shut up and get unpacking. 4:20 Saturday afternoon, 5 orders picked, another 2 to do, and I'm gonna call it a day here and start putting a vlog together. Decent orders, including all 5 of the parted out Night Troopers helmets, so they've gone straight away. This order is weird and wonderful, really strange parts, a whole load of BB-8 tops, those helmets, yeah, some real kind of odd pieces, a panda, those things from Lone Ranger, a bit more of a bog standard kind of Star Warsy looking kind of kit there, the UCS X-Wing plate there, white and yellow, and a lot of trans black or trans brown, can't remember which one it is now in that one. And then this one's got a couple of Indiana Jones mummies, a whole load of trans clear plates, a bit of tan, a little bit of white, and some other bits and pieces in there, so that kind of feels like that might be Indiana Jones as well. These 2 have been reallocated to there. We've got some more parts for the wanted lists, that will now be a tomorrow job, along with adding Plo Koon into the store. So all those parts are in and up. So we are sitting at 14,061 lots. So we're up 49, is that? 49, 59, something like that on the week. And then in terms of part numbers, we are sitting at 619,471, which I believe takes us into the top 10, maybe. Let's just bear with me here while I log into this little place, and we'll go stores, and then we change that to Australian stores, and here we are. So where are we sitting there? We are sitting at number 8, but this will be a day old, so at 619 we will be sitting in number 9. We were sitting in 10, we will be up to number 9, hot on the heels of Brick Den, depending on what else has happened in the weekend, I guess. So that is pretty tasty. Happy with that. Yeah. So this is the ranking by part count, and I can do it by lot count, which shifts the dial somewhat. Oh, Noah was top yesterday. No, he's not. The seesaw between Brick Womble and the Brick Shed is pretty incredible, and as you can see, lot count for them is sitting over here, so 31,512, 31,493, and then a fair old drop to Pretty Bricks, Sydney Brick Emporium, that is Craig I Bricks. Where are we sitting in this little ranking of lot count? Not too good, but a very lucky 23, happy with that. Yeah, that's where we're sitting at the moment as we head into Sunday, which ain't too bad. I'm just going to point you over here while I open up Brick Freedom as well. What are we looking at? Yeah, orders are up 14%, and total income is up 3% on the month before, which is pretty good. I'm just getting to this week to see where we're at. We've done 31 sales this week with 4,715 which is not too far behind order wise. Obviously a lot of a drop in parts, but that's okay. So yeah, that's the kind of the week we're having, which has felt pretty decent actually. It's felt like it's been a decent balance between things going up and kind of time to get a little bit of sorted and stuff like that. In terms of the draws, we're now into this, we're up to 1231, which is quite a progression from where we were. And around the other side in the big draws, we are, stand back because the aisle's not that big, is it? We are already into this column here down to 472 on those, which is pretty good going, given that all of that is pretty much volume stuff. Nice. So a decent week, happy with that. Thanks for watching as always, and I'll be back tomorrow doing more of the same. Hope to see you then.